For Sonia, creating an Instagram account was the only path to transforming her life. She not only envisioned grand dreams, but also came from a family where she witnessed her parents struggling to make ends meet. Hailing from Ahar, her parents moved to Delhi in search of better opportunities and settled in a rented home in Nangaloe, West Delhi. Sonia's father sold animal fodder, while her mother worked as a maid, making rounds in different homes. Due to financial constraints, Sonia had to leave school after the 10th grade, but she never stopped dreaming. She aspired to lift her family out of poverty and yearned to own a house of her own, which led her to decide to become a social media influencer. After leaving her studies, she bought a smartphone with her savings and started creating content on Instagram. While her parents were away for work, she would manage all the household chores and spend her entire day making reels. She felt confident that by regularly uploading content, her following would grow, eventually leading to paid opportunities. Frequently, she would shoot her reels at popular locations in Delhi, like Connaught Place. The results began to show as her follower count increased. Alongside this, she started learning sewing to create her own designer outfits for her reels. In short, both Sonia and her aspirations were determined to become social media influencers, and gradually, her follower count exceeded 7,000. However, fate had different plans in store for her. Just as Sonia's dreams began to take flight, a ghost entered her life. Yes, a ghost that transformed her story in a way she never anticipated. Welcome to the show. My name is Roy, and you are watching The Dark Case of Sonia Kumari. Sonia was completely immersed in social media, believing this was her only chance to change her destiny. About a year ago, when she was around 19 years old, a ghost appeared in her life, and they embarked on a love affair. This so-called ghost wasn't a paranormal entity, but rather her secret boyfriend, whom she affectionately called Ghost. Initially, Sonia's family had no idea about this new individual, but gradually, she began introducing her relationship to the world. She started posting pictures of herself with him on her social media accounts. Deeply infatuated with this ghost, Sonia became blind to everything else around her, as often happens when one experiences new love at a young age. Sonia's family realized her behavior was changing. They knew she was in love, but they had no idea who he was or what he did. Whenever they tried to discuss it with Sonia, she consistently gave the same vague response, her ghost. The mention of this ghost dominated her daily phone calls, reels, and online posts, but the truth about her ghostly lover was taking her down a perilous path. In August 2024, Sonia's mother, Rajni Devi, noticed that Sonia had suddenly stopped going outside, which was unusual since she typically couldn't stay home for long. After observing her daughter's behavior closely, Rajni started to suspect something was wrong. Their suspicion turned into certainty when they discovered that Sonia, just 20, was 5 months pregnant. Now the story was about to take a dark twist, and before diving deeper into her love affair, we'll explore the evidence. Sonia had posted her story approximately 15 months ago, indicating that she must have met this boy around that time. She referred to her boyfriend as Sanju, affectionately calling him her ghost. He was from Haryana but lived near Sonia's home with his family. Last year, during Diwali in 2023, she dedicated a reel to Sanju, emphasizing their bond. Both were just 19 or 20 years old. Yet Sonia was so consumed by love that she began to consider him her husband within just a few months of dating. In fact, about a year ago, she even referred to him as her hubby in one of her stories, and 10 months prior, she had also posted a photo with him, captioned similarly. The last story Sonia shared, uploaded in October 2024, mentioned that Sanju was her everything. By October 2024, Sonia was entering the 7th month of her pregnancy and had revealed to her family that Sanju was the father of her child. She envisioned a future with him, believing wholeheartedly that he was her husband. Despite not being formally married, Sonia was excitedly preparing for their new life together. However, Sanju had misleadingly informed Sonia that, although he lived with his parents and an older brother alongside a sister-in-law, he was actually estranged from them. As her due date approached, Sonia's excitement grew. On October 20th, 2024, she observed a Karwa Chauth fast, acting like a married woman despite not being legally wed. Witnessing their young daughter preparing for motherhood without a marriage left Sonia's family feeling distressed and concerned. Eventually, they felt they had no other choice but to accept her relationship. On the morning of October 21st, 2024, at 4 a.m., Sonia packed all her belongings and left home, telling her sister that Sanju's mother would never accept her. She planned to start a new life with Sanju away from her family. When Sonia's mother, Rajni Devi, woke at 5 a.m. and realized her daughter was missing, she attempted to call her. Initially, the phone was turned off, but hours later, it finally connected. On the other end, a voice introduced itself as Sanju's, insisting that Sonia despised her family and didn't want to speak to anyone, urging them to stop trying to reach her. Rajni pleaded with Sanju to reveal Sonia's whereabouts, but he refused her requests. Throughout the day, Sonia's family struggled to make contact. Late that night at 11 p.m., when Sonia's brother Manish tried calling again, Sanju repeated his evasive answers. This time, Manish noticed background noise, suggesting that Sanju was with others, and he overheard Sanju ominously ordering someone to dig a deep hole. Alarmed, the family feared the worst. They rushed to the Nangaloi police station to report Sonia missing, but the police dismissed their concerns. Officers claimed that both Sonia and Sanju were of legal age, implying she had left willingly, so they couldn't intervene. Frustrated by the lack of police assistance, the family began to investigate Sanju on their own, eventually discovering where he lived. What they uncovered was a chilling truth. The young man Sonia thought was Sanju was, in fact, named Salim. When the family approached Salim's relatives, they claimed that Salim had been disowned and that they had no connection to him. The walls seemed to close in around the family as they found themselves without help from authorities, leading to a darker discovery. On October 23rd, Manish received a call from the police in Western Bihar, claiming they had apprehended a young man driving a bike without a license plate. They had found documents and an Aadhaar card belonging to both Sonia and her father among the belongings, which Sonia had taken when she left. Manish hurried to the Nangaloi police station to inform them, which prompted police to bring the captured suspect to their station, where they learned the boy was indeed Salim. When asked about Sonia, Salim initially claimed she wanted nothing to do with anyone, but once coerced into cooperation by the police, he revealed a deeper, sinister plot. The morning she left with her belongings on October 21st, 2024, Salim drove to pick up Sonia in a rented car. He had also brought along two friends, Pankaj and Riddick. As they traveled, Sonia pressed Salim about getting married, a topic he had previously avoided discussing. The car journey took them along the highway between Badurgar and Rohtak, where an argument erupted over marriage. Sonia had given up everything in the hope of building a future with him, making her desperation for a commitment clear. Aware of her insistence, Salim had schemed ahead, and the escalating disagreement led to a dramatic turning point. To calm her anger, Salim finally promised he would marry her, which prompted them all to celebrate by heading out for a party in Rohtak. Under the influence of alcohol, they traveled to a secluded area in Madina village, approximately 20 kilometers from Rohtak, where the atmosphere shifted. There, in a brutal act of violence, Salim and his friends physically assaulted Sonia, who was already 7 months pregnant, without mercy. Using a mobile charger's cable, they strangled her and ended her life. This was the moment when everything changed. At about 11 p.m. that night, when Manish called Sonia, Salim was heard tell his friends to dig a deep hole. They buried Sonia in that very pit and subsequently returned to Delhi to cover their tracks, leaving no one the wiser about their horrific deed. The imposter who convinced Sonia that he loved her turned out to be a monster, one who discarded her life along with her unborn child without thought. Salim confessed to the police that Sonia continuously pressured him to marry her, while he had no intentions of doing so. He suggested she terminate the pregnancy, but Sonia remained adamant about keeping the baby and building a life with him, which led to his dreadful plan to eliminate her. The entire scheme Salim devised showed how he had manipulated Sonia from the beginning, carefully orchestrating everything, including his fake identity as Sanjay. He went to great lengths, adopting Hindu customs to blend in, wearing religious symbols like a bracelet and occasionally sporting a tilak on his forehead. This was further confirmed by residents in Sonia's locality, who had frequently seen him visiting her house when she was alone. The most shocking detail came to light when extensive investigations revealed that after committing the murder, Salim changed his social media username from Sanjay to Salim. Two critical questions remain unanswered. Did Sonia ever discover the truth about his real identity? And was she the first victim of his manipulations? Evidence suggests that he had altered his username multiple times in the past, raising the possibility that he had deceived others before her as well. But one thing is crystal clear. Salim's intentions with Sonia were far from genuine. He sought only to satisfy his physical desires under the guise of love. Sadly, Sonia was unaware of his true nature, mistaking his deceit for affection, believing that her dreams of love were real. Unfortunately, despite their efforts, images or identities of the remaining two accomplices, Pankaj and Hrithik, have yet to be uncovered, though all three main suspects are now in custody. Sonia's family is bewildered, having seen Salim's family previously disavow any connection to him, only to witness them now rally to defend him. They call for justice, demanding the harshest punishment possible, while questioning why his family is now interfering after claiming to have nothing to do with him. They suspect Salim crafted this narrative of being estranged to prevent Sonia from discovering his real background and identity. Sadly, Sonia is no longer with us, but this case serves as a cautionary tale for all young women who might blindly invest everything in a relationship without truly knowing their partner. It's crucial to recognize that feelings may not always reflect the intentions. Just because you feel a connection with someone doesn't mean their intentions align with yours. It's alarmingly easy for someone to put on a facade in today's world. This doesn't mean you should distrust everyone around you, but it emphasizes the importance of being observant and cautious. Take the time to genuinely assess any relationship before diving in too deeply. As I mentioned earlier, time can be your most reliable ally in navigating these situations. Please remember to be vigilant. Recognizing the signs may help unveil the truth that might otherwise remain obscured. Just as you cannot see your reflection clearly in boiling water, emotions can cloud one's ability to discern reality in matters of the heart. This often allows manipulators to take advantage of trusting individuals, and by the time the truth is revealed, it might be too late. This was today's case. Take care of yourselves, and we will meet again with another story.